特首早晨啊，咁升到㗎。首先咧，想問翻就係咧，港澳辦同埋中聯辦咧，接連都轉載咧幾篇嘅評論文章啦，就係有關於質疑咧呢個長和咧計劃出售巴拿馬運河兩端港口等嘅資產，有冇考慮到國家嘅利益，甚至形容係冇腰骨嘅跪低。特首你自己點睇啦？特別係呢一類嘅企業咧，其實生意遍佈全球，同香港經濟都唇齒相依嘅。喺面對政治風險嘅時候，佢哋應該點樣去面對呢？第二就係啟德體育園開幕到而家10幾日，差唔多2個禮拜啦，但係有多場嘅爭議啦。無論係開幕嘅時候有人收錢帶位亦都好啦，甚至係桌球賽嘅續客事件啦，似乎咧內部溝通都仲係唔係好夠，甚至係政府部門咧同體育園都有一啲意見或者一啲表述上面有鬧雙包嘅情況啦。你點睇呢一啲磨合啦？會唔會擔心影響七欖啦，甚至係盛事經濟或者香港嘅形象呢？唔該。
針對你第一個問題，我對呢件事咧係有3點睇法。第一咧係社會就事件有好多議論，反映社會對事件嘅關切，呢啲關切係值得重視。第二，特區政府要求外國政府為企業，包括香港企業，提供公平公正嘅環境。我哋反對喺國際經貿關係裏邊使用脅迫或者施壓嘅手段。第三，任何交易必須符合法律同埋規則嘅要求，特區會依法依規處理。有關啟德體育園喺自開園到而家，有一啲安排係唔理想。我嘅要求係，第一，我係非常重視啟德體育園嘅順利同埋符合市民期望嘅運作。我哋已經係開園咗大約係第1個月，有一啲安排表現出有問題，我哋係要將佢處理好。所以我已經係要求咧喺機制建設方面咧係要做工作，要強化機制建設。第一咧係要設立恆常嘅會議機制，文體旅局同埋啟德體育園嘅管理層應該恆常化，定期有工作會議。文體旅局應該聽體育園匯報佢嘅工作暢順同埋運作嘅情況，亦都提出意見。我亦都要求啟德體育園嘅管理公司，佢哋要有一個處理包括應急或者突發事件嘅機制，要強化佢哋嘅決策機制，確保管理層充分掌握喺場地前線發生嘅問題，而喺做咗決定之後，要確保佢哋嘅決定喺前線同埋喺場地有效執行。第三，係要有發言人嘅機制，讓市民咧可以第一時間了解任何問題喺原地喺場地嘅運作方面係點樣處理。亦都係要有發言人咧，係第一時間將信息係發放俾大家，符合政府同埋市民嘅期望。喺呢方面咧，政府會一直同管理層保持密切嘅溝通，喺呢幾個機制裏邊係確保運作暢順。
好，第二條問題。
Good morning, Mr. Lee. Some English question from the South China Morning Post. So firstly, about the controversy surrounding the deal by CK Hutchison Holdings to sell the ports that it owns. Firstly, what is the government's view on the deal itself, and how should the company respond amid this apparent criticism by Beijing? Secondly, you mentioned earlier that any deal made in Hong Kong must adhere to the local laws and legislations. Could you elaborate a little bit on what you mean by that? Perhaps would the government consider using its own legislation like national national security law or potentially something else? And secondly, about the raising of the Hong Kong public hospital fees. When raising the fees of certain medical services provided by the government, how can the government itself ensure that residents in need would not have their diagnosis delayed due to these extra charges? And how would you address concerns that private hospitals might also raise their prices in light of this? Thank you.
Well, in regard the transactions you mentioned, I have 3 points to make. First, there have been extensive discussions in society about the issue, and this reflects society's concern over the matter. These concerns deserve serious attention. Second, the Hong Kong SAR government urges foreign governments to provide a fair and just environment for enterprises, including enterprises from Hong Kong. We oppose the abusive use of coercion or bullying tactics in international economic and trade relations. Third, any transaction must comply with the legal and regulatory requirements. Hong Kong will handle it in accordance with the law and regulations. In regard to your question about reviews of charges and fees of hospitals, I must first of all emphasize this review is part of the healthcare reform. I have given 3 principles to Health Bureau in this healthcare reform in relation to review of fees and charges. First, it is not an expenditure-cutting exercise. We shall spend no less money, just to readjust the spending distribution for the sake of efficiency and effectiveness. Second, priority should be given to the most needed. These include helping those with economic difficulties and those cases in which the patient suffers from emergency, the most serious and critical illnesses. Third, reduced waste of resources, including drugs and services waste. I have urged Health Bureau to finalize the review and announce the details as soon as possible. And we aim at announcing the details within this month.